Well, we're nearly there. You've got 2 more rounds of applause to give, and I hope you still have them in you, because I know it's been a long and tiring couple of days. Thank you so much for being here and being so responsive. And as always, at the end of these things, we kind of reflect on the fact that we're now going home, justifying our enormous expenses claims, and saying, here is why we were in Berlin, and here's what we learned. And do you know what's really interesting for me about this latest incarnation of DIS is how suddenly real all this stuff actually is. We had a presentation earlier today from a company which was here half a decade ago, explaining how bad things had got and how they had some ideas about turning things around. And I can tell you that back then, there was a genuine feeling in this room, amongst all the people here. I wouldn't quite call it desperation, but it was certainly, will any of this stuff work? All these people have got ideas about how they're going to save their business. And one thing we heard today, largest classified company in the world, from a company that not very long ago was saying, where do we go from here? A transformation process that's created a very large, very profitable new version of Axel Springer that we wouldn't have predicted even 5 years ago. Even a year ago, we were still living in fear of Facebook and the platforms. We genuinely thought that one of the only answers to some of the issues we had faced was to turn to people like Facebook and Google and say, tell you what, we'll just give you everything. Somehow we'll try and make a living out of the crumbs you give us back after you've digested all our content and spat it out the other end. This year we're hearing, do you know what, you no longer need to do that. These are still enormous companies, and they'll continue to be enormous companies, but we are the destination companies. We own the content, and the value in quality content has been seen by the level of subscription revenue that companies who've presented here are generating every day, every week, every year. And it's not thousands or even millions, it's hundreds of millions of dollars of subscription revenue. These are substantial businesses that are no longer in defensive mode, saying how much of what was once huge can we hold on to. They're in growth mode, saying, do you know, how big can we be? And the answer is many of the companies in this room can be and will be absolutely enormous. 2 other learnings. 1, who knew The Economist was on Snapchat? I do now. How cool is that? And 3, my favorite learning of all, that the under-60s now count as a youth market if you're talking about American cable media, which has made me enormously happy. On that note, we'll leave you with 2 other things to bear in mind. 1 is that we'll be back here next year, March. I hope to see as many of you as possible, and that your tickets are on sale now. Secondly, don't forget to check out the videos after the event of any sessions you may have missed. And I promised you some more applause. The first one is really for the whole team here at FIP for putting this thing together, which has been great, so thank you to them. And the last one is to a group of people without whom none of this would be possible. And those are the people that showed the commitment, the steel, and the backbone to stay here till the very end. Yes, it's you. Big round of applause. So that's it. We're done. Bar's open. See you here next year. Thank you for being here. Goodbye.